Hey there, John Growitz, Bentley's Real Estate. How you doing? Just wanted to jump on really quickly. I had someone, as people normally do to realtors, what's the market like? And we've been saying the same thing, for about 18 months, 24 months, really. So I just wanted to go over some information really quickly, explain where we're at, where I see it going, and I'm going to do that using some graphs and data from MLS that kind of sum up what's going on in Newburyport, but really what's going on in the state of Massachusetts, all across the country. It's kind of the same story everywhere. So with that being said, topics I'm going to cover are current inventory, pricing, why we are in the situation that we are currently in, and then we're going to talk about rates and what are the big changes that we see coming. But the information I share is going to be specifically related to single family homes in Newburyport. I'm just using that because it's smaller numbers and it's easy to see, on a graph. But if I were to do, like I said, Essex County or the full state of Massachusetts, the data is going to look very similar. Maybe not pricing wise, but as far as inventory is concerned. So that being said, let's get to the first graph and go over it. So in this particular market report, what we're going to take a look at is the single family listings from 2017 to 2021, and it's going to break it down by year. So I don't know if you can see my cursor, but looking at units taken, what that is listings that were taken in that particular year, specifically single family homes in Newburyport, Massachusetts. So you'll see in 2017, 2018, and 2019, we're hovering around the same number, right? It's roughly 300. 294 in 2017, 315 in 2018, and then 296 in 2019. Once we get over 2020, we're at 267, and that's kind of showing the downward decrease in inventory that we experienced, right? So that's really the first dip we see. And then for 2021 inventory, there were only 203 homes listed that were single families in Newburyport. All right. So 2021, we're down about a third from what we would typically be at in any other given year, which was around 300. We saw the decrease in 2020, and then 2021 is when we really felt it. You'll also notice there is a column here for sold. So of the 294 listings in 2017, 180 sold. So you have about 100 properties that didn't sell. As we get to 2018, 315 listed, 200 sold. 2019, 296, 240 sell. Now the numbers in 2020 really start to tighten up. So 267 houses listed, 208 of them sold. And then as we get to 2021, 203 listed, 186 sold. So if we go up to this graph and you're looking at the listings taken, which is this green one, we see that it's kind of dipping. And then when you look at closed, this red line is starting to meet up with how many were taken. You always want this red line to be less than this green line or below this green line. So anytime you see this starting to meet up, it's cause for concern because it means almost everything that's being listed is selling. So people don't have as much to choose from. There aren't as many price adjustments or corrections occurring, right? So the next one we're going to take a look at is the effect that has on pricing. So down here, you'll see list price. So this is the average list price, original list price, which means the average when it first went to market, and then the sale price. So usually there's, in a healthier market, you're going to see that things aren't selling for the exact list price, right? They're selling lower because there's some form of negotiation going on. So looking at 2017, the list price when it was sold, the average list price was 680. The average sale price is 664. The average original list price is 695, meaning it went on the market at 695,000, didn't sell, so there needed to be a pricing adjustment. They drop it to 680,000, and then it winds up selling for 664. So in 2017, we're seeing things go on the market. In a lot of cases, they needed to have a price reduction, and then even once the price reduction occurs, it's still selling for less. Now, if we go over to the 2021 column, that's when things kind of get crazy, right? So the average original list price is 927,000. The list price is 922,000. So we are seeing a slight adjustment in price, right? It went down 5,000. But the average sale price is 943,000. So this is the first year that we see the average sale price actually being higher than the average list price. So on average, things are selling for more than they are listed for. And there are a lot of things that go into that. But, for instance, people right now might be pricing things a little bit lower than they think it's going to sell for in most cases, because they know there's such a demand that they'll probably get multiple offers, and then the market will dictate the price. But still, anytime you see that the average sale price is more than the average list price, it is cause for concern. And again, looking at it from a graph perspective, you can see that the sale price has climbed over the years from 2017 to 2021, and the list price has climbed with it. But again, represented in the graph, this red line shows that it's the first time, mid 2020 is when we first see the average sale price eclipse the average list price. So, cause for concern, right? But I have a lot of people that are saying, hey, I want to wait for the market to correct before I get involved in it. So I want to touch on that, quickly, because there are a couple factors, that go into a correction. So people think that the pricing is crazy right now, and I agree. Multiple offers and stuff selling for, in a lot of cases, more than I would expect. But the caveat to that is people are getting money really cheap right now, and what I mean by that is, the cost of borrowing money right now, because the interest rates are so low, we still have interest rates, in the twos for 30-year mortgages. People have a lot of buying power. So if you look at a mortgage or a price, everyone's concerned about the price you're paying for a house, but if the output that it takes to purchase at that price, meaning your monthly mortgage payment is low because you're locked in at a low interest rate, it doesn't hurt that much. So there are a few things that we're seeing, right? There is still a huge demand, for listings. There is not nearly enough supply of listings to meet the demand that's out there in the buyer pool of people who want to buy homes. So that's really strong. And then the past few years, the interest rates have been extremely low. So people are looking at the monthly mortgage payment and they say, well, I don't want to pay $950,000 or whatever it is, $500,000, $600,000. But if I'm doing the math, I can afford it and I'm okay. And especially for the people that are going into houses that they expect to be in a while, whether you're, raised a family or you're going to raise a family in this house, or it's a town that you love and you plan on being in the property for 10, 15, 20 years, whatever the case may be. It's really easy to pull the trigger because you're getting in at such a low interest rate, right? So people who are sitting on the sidelines saying, well, I'm waiting for the adjustment. Yeah, we want more inventory, and we're hopeful that this year we will have an increase in inventory in comparison to the past two. But there is still so much pent up buyer demand that we still expect a lot of the same things to happen. We still expect, bidding wars. We expect things to go over asking. And the other thing that we are going to be monitoring, those of you guys who are waiting for the market to change, there might be a correction in pricing, but what we're probably expecting is that interest rates are going to go up. When interest rates go up, your buying power goes down. So we may see maybe not as many. And when I say they're going to go up, anywhere you look, I'm speaking specifically about guaranteed rate because I use them a lot, and I was just on a Zoom training with one of their not one of their top people, their top person, Sean Panosian, for him and his team do an exceptional job. If you're looking for a mortgage, shout out to him. But we're looking at probably close to 4% by the end of 2022 for interest rates. That's what most people are projecting. So obviously, if you're looking at a 30-year mortgage and a large note, at 2.75%, and then you run that same number at 4%, you're looking at a very different, mortgage payment. So those of you who are sitting on the sidelines waiting for some sort of correction, a correction may come, but it's probably going to come at both a cost to you and the seller, meaning that your buying power isn't going to be as strong because it's going to cost more to get a loan, and your monthly payment is going to be higher, even at a lesser amount. And then sellers, you might see pricing come down a little bit just based on the affordability, what people are able to afford. Because as the rates go up, your buying power goes down. So that being said, is it still a good time to buy? Yes, especially if you're in, that bracket of, say, you're going to a house you expect to be in for a while. It makes total sense to lock in at a really low interest rate if you're going to be there for a long time, not pay nearly as much out over the course of a loan. For people who are sellers, whether you're a person who thinks, oh, my house has too much clutter, oh, the exterior is in rough shape, there's no one that would want to buy my house. I can tell you now more so than ever, there is probably somebody that wants to buy your house. So if that's a concern of yours, especially if you're someone who's looking to relocate to maybe a different marketplace, a more affordable one, take advantage, of the low inventory. There are a lot of people out there that want to buy houses that maybe lost out in last year's market, that are willing to make some exceptions and maybe pull the trigger on a house that isn't perfect for them. So if you're somebody who doesn't think that you can sell your house, I'm telling you, you can. If you need the help of a realtor, engage one. We know junk people, we know stagers, we know painters, we know carpenters. Your house is probably a lot closer to being able to be listed than you think it is. So that's where I see things going. Rates are going to go up. We're still going to have a really, really competitive market for buyers because there isn't going to be enough inventory to meet the demand of all the buyers out there. And if you're somebody sitting on the sidelines, take a look at your plan. Are you looking to pick up a property that you're probably only going to be in for 2 to 5 years? Are you looking for a property that you plan on being into 10 to 15 years or even longer? If you're in that second group, you should be trying to get out there and find a property sooner than later, and take advantage of these really, really low rates. As always, I'm here to help. If you have questions, text, email, leave comments, whatever. But feel free to get in touch with me. I'm always happy to talk real estate and happy to help you either buy or sell. Have a good day.